incredible capacity for interesting puzzle games on the 3DS these days. Plus, it's one of the simplest of genres to break into for an up-and-coming developer. And then big, mean old Nintendo goes and puts one of its heavy hitters on the Virtual Console, and all of a sudden, you're sharing space with, well, this. One of the most celebrated puzzle games, with a thick patina of marketable characters and a soundtrack that remixes an already stellar soundtrack into something, stellar 0.5. Sorry, indies with interesting ideas and blocks on how they should be manipulated. Sometimes even the most adventurous haute cuisine eater just wants to curl up with a Baconator on the couch, finally catching up on Better Call Saul. Pokémon Puzzle Challenge is that Baconator. So if you've ever played Panel de Pon, Tetris Attack, Pokémon Puzzle League, or Planet Puzzle League, this part looks familiar. You've got a stack of blocks, a cursor that's 2 blocks wide, one button to switch the 2 blocks inside the cursor, and one button to, rather paradoxically, speed up the flow of blocks seeping up from the bottom of the screen. Match 3 and they go away. There, we've just explained everything you need to know to have a block-based puzzle game. This fairly simple concept is then applied in 3 generally distinct forms: puzzles, solitaire, and head-to-head competition. As with, well, pretty much every game I mentioned in that last paragraph, Pokémon Puzzle Challenge includes a deep puzzle mode, which runs the gamut from the most basic tutorial constructions to complex multi-part chain reactions that should, in theory, start to prime your brain to recognize similar configurations out there in the wild. You don't have to worry about timing nearly as much, giving you a chance to sit there and let the gears turn until the solution hits you like a deranged redhead with a seriously f***ed up bike. Or you were entirely wrong. It happens. You've got a few formats available for solitaire. Your standard never-ending marathon mode comes in 2 flavors, one completely basic mode and a variant that throws in the occasional garbage panels as though you're playing against an opponent. Time Zone mode is a 2-minute score attack, while Line Clear tasks you with getting the pile of panels down below a given mark. While it's a good introduction, I find that these modes are a bit too easy. Panel de Pon has never really been a particularly difficult game. All the elegance is in optimization on the fly while under extreme duress. I mean, heck, there's a button to speed up the blocks at the bottom of the screen just so you have something to do. To get extreme duress, then, you need an opponent. Competitive play is where this particular flavor of puzzle shines as you trade combos and chains with a foe that you just can't see. Yes, the split screen action of every other entry in this series wouldn't fit on the GBC for other obvious reasons, so Pokémon Puzzle Challenge improvises by giving you the opposing Pokémon's HP bar. Rather than just throwing garbage for your opponent to work their way through, you're doing digits of damage. But they're still counterattacking, and you're going to enjoy the opportunity to slam through some trash yourself, which you'll need to convert to actual functional panels by creating a reaction near them. On the one hand, it fills the need for a more intensive version of the game, but on the other, you don't have the satisfaction of seeing all that schmutz piling up on your opponent, which is already one level of satisfaction removed from seeing all that schmutz piling up on the dope holding the other controller. But while it's a less than ideal interpretation of the most ideal form of this particular flavor of gameplay, Pokémon Puzzle Challenge does manage to ameliorate things by allowing you the choice of which Pokémon to use, with selections past the Johto starters unlocked as you go along. Heck, you can even hatch the baby Pokémon, Elekid and Pichu and whatnot, for even more options, even though there isn't that much that changes in-game aside from the music. That said, the music is enough to justify everything. You could blindfold yourself and pretend this whole game is just an album of Pokémon Gold and Silver remix tracks, and it'd still be worth the price of admission. Anyone can remix a track on better hardware, but it takes a certain kind of genius to create such interpretations on the same platform as the original. It might be your less than exciting Baconator of safety, but at least it's a Baconator with an excellent audio component. And like a copy of Abbey Road covered in cheese and pig strips. And Mean Mr. Mustard, of course.
This is the end of the show!